All good, as I am quickly setting up for our first semifinals of the night. And everyone,
What about that?
place your bets. You have a couple of minutes to bet on who you think is going to come out on top.
Is it gonna be the player in the top left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the top left-hand corner? Our red Zerg player coming out from the land of Korea. He is, of course, going to be representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming DPG. He is Doc.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Pride of Altares LE, we have the South Korean Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion. One of the most historic players out there. It is ByuN. And as Yaku does go and top up his water, I'm so excited. I love casting these two players. Personally, I love casting Dark. He is a little bit unique, you know, amongst the other Koreans out there. He has his own style of playing. He's a lot more fond of his roaches into lurkers. Not just that, but he loves going Ling Bane into Ultra. He kind of popularized that style a couple of years ago. And back in Heart of the Swarm, he also popularized the style of going Ling Bane Corruptor back when Ling Bane Muta was the meta. So yeah, he's always kind of been a bit of a dark horse in a way. No pun intended. When it comes to kind of doing his own thing, his own personality reflects that as well. But at the same time, I'm also, when I think of Dark's personality, I'm more thinking of like 2013, 2014 sort of Dark. I know nowadays he's a lot more mellow, you know, with age comes wisdom, and he's less angsty than he used to be.
Yeah, it's calm boy now.
It feels bad, man. I want him out there trash talking foreigners, mate. That's what I want. My God.
If only.
If only, mate. If only. Those were the days.
They really were. Those were... Yeah. I like those 2018-ish days where everybody was freaking out like, oh my god, Dark lost to a foreigner, but he'd still go out there and trash talk them anyway.
Yeah, I think that was the best. That was so good, like around 2018, because as the first Reaper is here across the map, but does not get a drone. That was around GSL versus the World.
Yep.
And that was the best thing about that was he was known for trash talking. He was known for being a little bit disrespectful for the foreigners, but like, he always had a lot of respect for Scarlet, so it was always like a big it was a big thing when he played against Scarlet, and he'd go up to her and like bow to her and stuff, and like actually show like respect like among Korean culture and stuff. And it was like, I was like, oh, well, that's sick, you know. It's sick to see.
Well, he bowed to her, but he also tore up her portrait, so
oh yeah
who knows?
You know you can't go all the way, right? Like,
yeah. That's about as respectable as you're gonna get from Dark.
Exactly.
Interesting that ByuN hasn't skipped the Reaper this time.
Mate, it's Dark, right? You can't you can't be greedy, okay? You gotta go with the Reaper. You gotta know if roaches are coming across the map, you know, it's Dark, right?
It's actually one of the brighter maps in the current pool, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Not wrong, not wrong. Meanwhile, we do have a medevac on the way, so despite the 1-1 opener here from ByuN, he is looking to be a little bit aggressive with these Hellions. He will have the option to pick him up and go straight into the main.
If need be. So now he's just positioning outside of the bases.
Yep, here we go. ByuN is getting ready for that drop. Meanwhile, quickly checking the vision of Dark. Has he seen this? He did scout the opener, so he can assume what's coming his way, but he doesn't have anything in position. He has a queen ready to throw down creep or to intercept, but only a single queen.
One Zergling might have seen the medevac, but either Dark didn't see it, or he thinks that ByuN's going to drop into the natural base. Instead, he drops straight to the main, but thankfully the Lings were in position to move back and defend.
Yeah, exactly. The Lings, they were patrolling here at the natural base, but again, because of the reaction time, Dark was able to get into the main fast enough, and he only loses a single drone. Oh!
As good as you're gonna get. Oh, that's a nice little shaving of Lings that ByuN gets here. Doesn't lose too much, only a single Hellion so far.
Yeah.
Overall, a net positive.
Yeah, ByuN going full KBBQ there in the main base, but still, it's one of those things where he wants the drones. He wants to taste that savory, juicy meat, and he just doesn't get it. Only gets those lings, and ByuN has to be content with that and back off.
Yeah, the last thing he wants is to lose the only thing that's keeping Dark back for now. So once he loses this drop of those Hellions, you know that Dark is going to go full on for the counterattack.
Oh yeah, it's going to be so difficult to land your third base once that happens. Meanwhile, the aggression hasn't ended. Banshee gets across the map, does get one drone. There is a Spore, but not in the best position, so 2 drones get picked off.
Yeah, thankfully, there is a little bit of detection here, though. Overseers, rather, did finish up.
Yep, they finish up just in time. Meanwhile, I really love this as, oh, that Banshee gets intercepted by the Queens, does get sniped for only 2 drones. And Dark, he's going for a Spire.
Interesting. Honestly, that's probably the last thing I would have... Dark, probably the last player I would have thought to go Spires in a ZvT, but... Yeah, he's been known to pull them off very, very effectively in ZvT particular. Hopefully it translates to a different matchup here as well. Yeah,
that's why I love it. This going Lingbane Muta isn't really what Dark is known for in this matchup, as you were saying. So it's a little bit unexpected, and ByuN hasn't seen it. He hasn't seen the Spire. He doesn't know what's coming his way. For all he knows, it could be Lingbane into Hive, right? Into Ultras, or it could be something else entirely. He's still a little bit in the dark. ByuN is trying to test... he wants to get in the dark, mate. And he's trying to test the waters here and there, but he still hasn't quite spotted those mutas. And as a result, like, there are no turrets in position.
No turrets at all. ByuN is still producing tanks, which are good overall units, good overall defensive units as well, but you do hit a point of diminishing returns when you're against Lingbane Muta in particular.
Like, are these mutas just going to win the game? Like, they're beelining. They're beelining towards the natural base. In comes the push for ByuN. What is there to defend? Banelings need a little bit more time. Queens are here to buy that time, and once there are Banelings, then ByuN can't push in.
Mutalisks have revealed themselves. Actually, not the best target firing from Dark yet, so only a handful of SCVs go down, but the mineral lines is still uber exposed. Missile turret gets sniped before it can even finish up. ByuN's economy in a lot of trouble right now, about to be in shambles pretty soon.
Exactly, 9 workers go down, Marines go down as well. There just weren't enough to deal with these mutas, and everything came back home. ByuN was working on a push, and he just wasn't able to pull it off. And Dark defends, and now he can get his 4th up and running.
Yeah, we look at the worker counts right now, and we think, oh, you know, ByuN's not that far behind, plus he has Mule, so it's still alright for him, but seriously, Dark just finished up that 4th base. There's nothing stopping him from going ham on the drones now.
They're still dealing damage, Yaku! Oh my god! Like, the mutas are still, like, I'm waiting for the moment where like ByuN deals with this, but the mutas just, they haven't stopped dealing damage, and ByuN has had enough. He's like, oh god, I can't do it anymore. I'm just going.
That moment's never gonna come, isn't?
Yeah.
His mineral lines have missile turrets now, and the Mutalisks are a little bit vulnerable, but Dark also decides not to go into the mineral lines. He's just causing infrastructure damage, catching reinforcements wherever he can. Still super. That's still a lot of value that he's getting out of these Mutalisks.
And look at ByuN's anti-timing. He pushes out across the map. Ooh, loses a tank. And 1-1 just finished up for Dark. Now he has his melee upgrades. This is something that he avoided. He delayed his melee upgrades to dive into mutas as quickly as possible. And now that they finished up, like, ByuN, he can't push up that ramp. There's no way, unless he wants to lose. Like,
there is a way for him to move up the ramp, just not one that will result in a victory.
Oh my god. And now the muta cloud has gotten large enough. 16 mutas are out on the map, denying some production, keeping ByuN busy here at home. And Dark, we were talking about him establishing a 4th base. Now he's getting a 5th base, not just a 5th, but also a gold.
Now that's what you call a problem, Mutalisks. ByuN so super heavily supply blocked. Meanwhile, Dark about to be maxed out. And Dark doesn't feel pressured pushing into ByuN at all either. He could potentially end the game if he sends everything across the map, but he doesn't need to. He doesn't need to take that risk.
I think that's the biggest thing.
He just force ByuN into him.
Like right now, it feels like Dark is cruising. Like it feels like Dark is playing with his food. He's maxed out. This madman is maxed out. There's almost nothing here.
Yeah. Oh, but now he's shifting gears, and he is collapsing on top of half of ByuN's entire army. That half not too far behind either. Actually, the Banelings don't quite get the connection, so a lot of Lings do get shaved off, but I don't think it matters too much in the end.
Oh my god, exactly. The Banelings find their connections as a decent Marine force, and that's great and all, but at the same time, like Dark, he reset the Widowmine count, he reset the tank count, and Dark is just remaxing behind this.
Yeah, I was gonna say that seemed to be a very inefficient trade for Dark, but then I looked at the banks. I'm like, oh wait, no, Dark can get away with this. He can remax his entire army. ByuN can barely afford to reinforce what little he has left.
Exactly. That's why it's so important for ByuN to get this goal base up and running. This is a way for him to get back into this game if given enough time. Meanwhile, Dark, being a little bit critical of Dark a little bit, is that his infestation pit is late, which means his hive is late. If he wanted to go into Vipers or Ultras or anything else, he did delay himself, maybe taking this a little bit too calmly when he should have been taking it a little bit more seriously.
Oh, that's a really nice Widowmine connection, actually, but there's still plenty of Banelings to contest with. The splits are looking pretty fantastic, but what about the reinforcements coming down?
Oh god, exactly. And the mutas, they get into that goal base, more workers are going down. Again, ByuN traded so well, his marine control was insane, but can he kind of make up, like, can his micro make up for the fact that, you know, he's been down in the economy and everything else?
I gotta be honest, it almost looks like it will. Dark spent his entire bank earlier on to remax his army, and then it looked like he almost wasted all of it.
Yeah.
I'm still not liking this too much for ByuN. I think it's very ballsy for him to move out on the map. Okay, he pulls back. Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no.
Like
Dark has some time.
Yeah, Dark has been going for these kill moves and fighting off of creep time and time again when he didn't really need to, and he is putting himself, like, putting ByuN back in this game. Like, the creep spread hasn't been looking that great here, which means that fighting these armies in the middle of the map is that much more difficult. Hive is finally on the way, but again, I was taking note of it earlier, this was delayed, and ByuN has done it. Like, he's in this. Absolute
madman. He's caught back up in army supply and almost the same worker supply as well. Now this is what Dark should be doing, though, with his Mutalists.
Yeah.
Harassing as much as he can, picking off reinforcements, and just making sure that ByuN isn't able to get a force that can contest with the army in Dark.
And mate, that late Hive is hurting Dark so much. Like, Dark wants to start 3-3, but he can't. Like, he's been stuck on 2-2 for so long. Oh god, Dark, please, you don't want to throw away your Banelings, not like this. 3-3, though, kicks in for ByuN, and he's going to have a massive upgrade advantage.
Is this going to be how ByuN turns the game around? It very well may be.
It may
Still very tricky to fight on creep, though.
It really is. ByuN is trying to force his way through. At the same time, the mutas are counterattacking, trying to hit that planetary fortress, but mate, there are no more Banelings left.
Yo, the Widowmine's actually getting some very, very good connections. Now, ByuN doesn't have an economy left, though.
Yeah.
This is all he's got. He has a very frightening army, but that's the only thing he has.
Exactly, and the army turns around and it comes all the way back home. I feel like that's maybe a little bit of a mistake because he can't keep up with the mutas. The mutas, they just killed the base, they killed a wave of SCVs, and now they're in the production. And these Marines that came back don't do anything, and that's why ByuN is like, okay, maybe I should move out again.
Being a little too indecisive here.
Oh boy.
And now Banelings have been remade. There are still a couple of Widowmines. One Widowmine, if it can get the best connection in the world, then it's gonna be fine, but it doesn't.
Oh god, and in comes the massive swarm. The full surround. The mutas even turn around to come back home, and once again, Dark swallows up ByuN's army in the center of the map. Like, ByuN, oh god, you gotta stop. You gotta move with everything. Like, these Widowmines would have been great with the army.
Yeah, the time that fight happened, ByuN was actually ahead in army supply, but because of all those mutalists, half of them were left at home doing nothing. GG is called. Dark takes game number 1, but he made it way closer than it really should have been.
Oh yeah, yeah. Dark really wanted ByuN to win that game. Like that, like that was. Dark was looking so good for so long, and then you could see that he was slipping up here and there because it felt like it was overconfidence was slipping in. He's like, "Man, I don't need to worry about a hive. I can, I can end the game here. I didn't need to worry about the future, about future investments." And then the future comes, and he's like, "Oh my god, what have I done?
Why didn't I invest in East Poland?
I didn't save any money at all, and now retirement's coming around. Like, what's oh god." But
I should have bought land in Poland.
I should have invested in stocks or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, regardless, Dark still did end up winning, and he had some beautiful muta control. Oh.
He really did. When he bothered to control his mutas, again, a little bit questionable.
Yeah.
A couple of those fights from Dark, but when he didn't use the mutas in the fights, you know, when he was rotating around bases, messing up mineral lines, picking up reinforcements, that was when his control really shined. And that's not something we see too often from Dark, at least not in ZvT.
Yeah. That was one of the more exciting things for me to see. Is, as you said, like, we don't see Dark go mutas that often. So to see it like this is for me a bit of a rare treat. I enjoyed every second of it. And I hope to get more. I don't think we will. Again, like, Dark is one of those unique players where he can approach this matchup specifically in a lot of different ways, and he can vary things up quite a bit in a best of 5.
Really can. He's very versatile in that regard. I may be a little bit biased towards, you know, active styles like and compositions like Noodling Pain, but there is something to Dark's roaches and his holters and whatnot.
There really is, and maybe we'll get a taste of that, maybe not, as we now get into one of the smaller maps here in this map pool, diving in to Berlingrad.
LE. And here we have it then, over in the top left-hand corner map, so heading all the way in the top left-hand corner of Berlingrad, we have a red Zerg player coming on from the land of Korea. He is going to be representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. You can see that doggo behind the mineral line. Everybody get your barks. It's Dark.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Berlingrad LE, we have the South Korean Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion. Currently down in this series, but it's okay. It's the best of 5. We got plenty more games to go. It is ByuN.
We were talking a little bit about how Dark has a lot of different builds. He has some map-specific builds coming up, but let's not forget about ByuN and how varied he can be either. But as right off the bat, he throws out 2 Raxes.
Oh yeah. Let's go. We are going to be seeing, it looks like a 3 Rax. Yep, 3 Rax opener here for ByuN. And Dark, how is he going to be able to deal with this? When is he going to get eyes on this as the Overlords are moving out across the map? And eventually they'll see. But even if they see, there's going to be a lot of Reapers to worry about.
Oh yeah. Even if they see, do they really see?
True.
Oh, I like this from ByuN actually. Dark isn't quite going into the... Okay, now he is.
Yeah.
For a second, it looked like he was just going to go and look at the ramp and then maybe overreact a little bit, but yeah, no, he's checking everything.
Yeah, exactly. Like, once he gets to the ramp, he's going to confirm, hold on, where's your Rax? It's in a really weird place, a place where it shouldn't be, and now he's going to go even further, confirm the rest of the Raxes, but of course, the Reapers are already out moving across the map, and Dark, he's going to have to make a decision about, especially when it comes to his queens, whether he wants to throw down a Spine Crawler, or even if he wants to throw down a Roach Warren. Regardless, that third base is going to be delayed.
I'm getting flashbacks to last night's Steam games. That was streamed on your channel. 3 racks Reaper, let's go.
Oh god. Yes, ByuN.
Look, if anyone could pull it off, it is ByuN.
Yeah, I mean, he's having some fun, mate. He dives in, he gets 1 drone, but oh, he's gonna lose a Reaper for it. Oh my god.
Not something you see too often here. ByuN losing a Reaper.
Yeah, questionable moves, mate. Questionable moves. Being a little bit too greedy. Once again, he wants that drone, but he is forced back. That third base was thrown down at a pretty reasonable time as well. Like, Dark, no fear. He's like, mate, you can go Mass Reaper. I don't even care. He's still droning up, by the way. He's fearless.
Huh. Well, we don't call Dark confident for nothing.
Yeah, it's true. And again, maybe he should have a little bit of fear. 3 drones got picked off, maybe even the queen, but nice surround!
The last Reapers will get picked off. Not the best start here for ByuN as he continues to pump up more and more Reapers. Okay, he's working on his 3rd base and the factory now. No, actually, his natural base. What?
Yeah, it's very late. And the Lings are counter-attacking, and it's Berlingrad. These Lings are going to get here fast enough, and if ByuN's not careful, like, they're going to deny the space.
It really will. It's so important for these Reapers to be able to intercept them.
Yeah, exactly. Like, thankfully, the Reapers were in position, and they are going to force Dark all the way back. Again, it's so important for these Reapers to keep Dark busy, because, like, if this CC gets delayed and denied, like, that's game.
Yeah. Definitely is. Alright, ByuN just trying to apply as much pressure as he can on Dark for now. As he works on his upgrades back at home. Just is trying to survive long enough to get his tech up and running.
Yeah, I'm just really concerned because, again, we have a lot of Lings coming across the map. +1 is on the way. I don't think it's going to really come into play because he gets a full surround on every single Reaper.
Oh, no. Even with the KDA
Yeah.
charge, not going to be enough. GG is called. And Dark finds himself a match point already. I don't think the other semifinals is even ready yet. Like,
Yeah, I don't think they've even started. We may be we may be lucky enough to cast both semifinals here for ESL Open Cup Asia 106, and that was a rough game, man. Ay, ay, ay.
man. I was trying to have some fun, but it did cost him in the end.
Yep.
And so yeah, that second semifinals, yeah, they looks like the players are just doing their vetoes there. Zest did take out Ryung 2-1. We'll be facing Ragnarok now.
Went to the ace match though.
It did. Hashtag year of Ryung.
Hashtag year of Ryung. Oh my god. Just yeah, kind of a rough game there for ByuN. Like, ByuN put himself in that situation going for the 3 racks, and I'm sure he finds success, but like the way that Dark dealt with it was like he was exuding so much chat energy.
Yeah.
It was insane.
He didn't get any spy crawlers, he didn't overreact with queens. It's just, yeah. You know, it can beat you with Lings, mate. And speaking of beat you with Lings, that could very well be what happens on game number 3 here of a best of 5 semifinals. We're learning into Hotwire LE. We're in the bottom left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom left-hand corner. We have our red Zerg player coming out from the land of Korea. He, of course, is going to be representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming DPG. And he only needs un momento por favor to make it to the grand finals. He is Dark.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Hardwire LE, we have the South Korean Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion. Currently incredibly down in this series. He cannot lose a single game from here, otherwise he is out of the tournament. It is ByuN. Alright, so what does ByuN do from here?
Yeah, that's what we're trying to figure out here. He's playing this out a bit more standard.
Yep. Thankfully,
Does he go
there's...
for the Reaper first this time?
He
does.
Yeah. He's not crazy, okay? He's... Oh god. Hopefully he's not crazy, as he does open up more standard here. Again, he was trying to be cheeky on Berlingrad, didn't work out his way, and now the pressure is on. One more slip up, and he's out of the tournament. And Dark, mate, he moves on to the grand finals if that's the case.
It's more likely than not at this point. I feel like just with how game number 1 and 2 played out, the only thing that can beat Dark at this point is Dark himself. If he gets too cocky, if he overextends a little bit too much here and there, ByuN is gonna have to rely on, capitalizing more on mistakes Dark makes instead of straight up outplaying him from just looking at how in form he is.
Yeah. We'll see. As the first Reaper gets across the map, just chipping away at these Lings, trying to trade as best he can. Interesting, Dark actually opts to go for 6 Lings instead of 4. I guess it makes sense just because of how good the micro is from ByuN, but at the same time, Dark doesn't lose a single Ling. Oh my god.
Huh. Pretty good micro to go around. The Reaper still hasn't been taken out. That's always a nice little little morale boost when you are able to take out the creep tumor with the Reaper.
Oh yeah. It's always great. So whenever you're able to pull that off, as you were saying. Oh god. But now we move on from here. ByuN once again goes for actually this time pulls an innovation and goes for a 1-1 into faster TC.
Wow, 3cc before starport. Just about the most economic opening you can get here as a Terran player, at least in TVC.
Yeah, and honestly, especially when it comes to the Koreans, I'm used to seeing it. Like, this has become pretty standard, especially amongst like Cure. I mentioned innovation earlier, but like even players like Bunny. But that's why it was interesting that ByuN was avoiding this entire series.
All these back into a corner. No, Namul. But it looks like, actually one single Ling will make its way through. It does confirm it's a 3cc before starport, so Dark should be feeling too worried right now. Yeah, Dark sees everything, mate. He knows that, hey, you're being economic, I can drone up, I'm free to do so as long as I have enough queens. And I was even able to deny a lot of mining at the natural with just a handful of Lings. Just like punishing the greed here for ByuN not walling off. Yeah, interesting that he hasn't walled off natural base, but I guess that's what Marines are for, right?
Yeah,
Marines are basically a moving wall that hurts. Not if Banelings come in though. They're not much of a wall at that point.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I mean, it makes a lot of sense that the Hellions are staying at home as well, right? Because, you can't be as active, especially when Dark is being as aggressive with these Lings, so they're just kind of chilling. And yeah, Dark, this time going for a much earlier upgrades, much earlier 1-1.
Well, this looks to be the build that I normally expect out of Dark, at least in a ZvT, that Lingbane straight in the hive. But we'll see. He hasn't gotten his lair yet, so yeah, there's still plenty of room for him to maneuver and go into a bit of a different tech path.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like, I'm still feeling, especially because we have a lair on the way. We'll see if he does go into a Spire or a Hydroden. At the moment, I feel like he wants to go Lingbane straight into Hive, especially because we even have a macro hatch here. So again, just relying a lot on Lingbane. I'd be very surprised if we see a Spire. Yeah,
this is a very larva-intensive unit composition. You need as much production as you can really get. Is he actually getting 2 macro hatch? No, he can't, right?
Yeah, he is. You say he can't. Dark says, mate. Hold my beer, mate. Let's go.
I am, yeah. Hold my soju, Jesus. Well, if we weren't sure about his unit composition earlier, we are now.
Let's go. So, of course, this is something that I love doing myself. There is Infestation Pit. He does indeed want to go Ling Bane straight into Ultras. It's a very greedy style. It's a very abusable style because you have very limited anti-air, because you don't have mutas, you don't have Hydras, you do not have a presence in the air. So drops can really pull you apart. But because of the economic opener, ByuN has been relatively passive. Finally, we see a double drop coming across the map. And again, this has to deal damage.
Well, I was gonna try. This is the timing where Dark is just about in the middle of his transition, so yeah, he doesn't have Baneling speed yet. He doesn't have too many Lings out on the map. If there was ever a time for ByuN to deal damage, it is right now.
God, it really is. But the drop gets denied. Of course, Dark was already here, ready and waiting. He just swats the drop away. Hive is already in production. This is the nail in the coffin. Like, ByuN cannot allow Dark to get away with all of this greed and all of these bases and all these hatcheries.
He's going for mines right now, and no Marauders either. Either he thinks that Dark is going for mutas again, or he doesn't realize just how quickly Dark wants to get into these Ultralisks. Thinks there's still a little bit more time where he doesn't need to have these units out yet, these Marauders or Liberators.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, I mean, maybe he plans to try and end the game before the Ultras come out, and maybe he wants to push out sooner. But we'll see, because this is where things are now starting to look a little bit different. Instead of going for the Ultra Cavern, we see a Hydra Den. So now he can go Ling Bane, and if he wants to, he can go into Lurkers instead.
Interesting. I think that's been a lot more... That's been a lot more of the standard in this current meta, at least in ZvT. Which again is why I'm surprised that Dark has Dark is playing 2 the meta this time.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very greedy way to get here, a very interesting way to get here. I feel like the Ultras are a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
But we'll see how he does, because Dark is now pushing towards that 4th base. Ling Bane is already here. There is one Widowmine in position. Up.
But it doesn't quite connect.
Yeah, exactly. Does not get triggered. Not yet. Meanwhile, we still have nothing but Ling Bane on the way. We do have some Hydra upgrades, but they're not done yet. And we still do not see a Lurker Den.
Huh. He's actually getting Cracklings much quicker than Hive than any of the Hive production buildings.
Yeah, again, just relying on Ling Bane. Just pure Ling Bane at the moment, and maybe it's going to be enough. Up, the right shots! Up!
Do connect mostly on Lings. A little bit of friendly fire, but still doable here. Oh, man. So important for ByuN to have been able to pick up and evacuate. Again, this is why the lack of anti-air can really give the Terran player a little bit of a leg up. Be the saving grace of the Terran player. Yeah, and this is unfortunate. All the Widowmines get cleaned up. I'm sure ByuN was hoping to keep them alive and get them ready for the next rounds. Unfortunately, that is not going to be the case. Meanwhile, oh my god, Dark, I don't know if you really want to be fighting here. It is forced back, loses a lot of Lings, but the Lurker Den finally starts. Is it too little too late at this point, though, as ByuN has not stopped the production? We were praising Dark a lot for his macro and his economy, but ByuN's economy has been completely untouched. He's on 4 bases, about to be up to 5. As long as ByuN doesn't trade too inefficiently, I really don't see how Dark is able to push all this back. Yeah, I mean, he's going to try and hold on, and honestly, the Banelings, they get some decent connections here and there, but these Widowmines, oh god, they're still a major issue. They're stopping ByuN from really pushing fully into this army. There's still plenty here available for Dark to keep ByuN at bay. And now he's starting to collapse. He's starting to get on top of everything and really push his army back. ByuN a little bit oversimmed, but Dark very far off a creep. Yeah, I don't know if Dark is overextending right now. Like, he's still trading fairly well, and he is producing 46 Lings behind this, but he is running out of steam. At the end of the day, though, It's Bling Bane for Marine Marauder, the two most
Yeah.
expendable units for Zerg and Terran respectively.
That was questionable, man. I don't know. I don't know if that's really what Dark wanted to do, but finally the Hydras are coming out. Still no lurkers, but now there is some anti-air, and now Dark can start dealing with all of these medevacs.
Does ByuN actually have too many medevacs?
That's a lot of medevacs.
It's eating into his supply a little.
Thankfully, he's not making any more. I hope he recognizes the fact that he has enough medevacs for his army. But, I mean, Dark, his goal here was to buy time for his hive-tech units, and lurkers are on the way with their upgrades. Oh my god.
Oh, that's actually a kill on that command center, not cancel. He takes out that planetary fortress. Finally, Dark is causing a little bit of economic damage on ByuN's side of the map, but he's still pretty dang stable. I mean, he's maxed out, and he's a player with a bank. That's the last thing you want to see as a Zerg player.
Yeah, and what's the answer to these lurkers? Like, there are no liberators, there are no ghosts. Like, ByuN is still stuck on Marine Marauder Widowmine.
Well, the answer is usually Widowmines, but you have to pray and hope that your Widowmines get the best connections of their lives. A lot of Banelings do trait pretty inefficiently, but the lurkers are still up and running, and that is the main threat right now.
Yeah, lurkers make up for the lack of banelings. Finally, ghosts are on the way, but this is the first wave of ghosts, and we needed them yesterday, not today. Oh god. And ByuN, he's just pushing deep into creep.
He is, and he'll get a base for his troubles. Able to pick up and leave with a lot of his army, actually.
Oh yeah, very nicely done again, making use of all of these medevacs. Still very little anti-air. The majority of the Hydras were morphed into those lurkers, but this is where we make up for the lack of anti-air with Parasitic Bomb. Those Vipers are on the way.
Is that, yeah, I guess that's probably the best course of action for the Vipers at this point. What are they gonna Blinding Cloud, really? What are they gonna yoink?
I mean, I guess like
Parabomb.
They could do anything. I mean, Parabomb's probably the primary use. Blinding Clouds is still going to be great as well. Unfortunately, there's no tanks for them to really shut them down. But yeah. Again, Viper's going to play a huge role in that next fight. Thankfully, ByuN isn't just relying on Ghosts. He also has Liberators on the way. I don't believe he has Lib Range, not yet. But, you know, again, he's refining his army.
Yeah, bit by bit. Slowly but surely.
Oh god, exactly.
Yeah, just trying to find a good position to snipe these lurkers, but ByuN isn't quite finding them yet.
Yeah, I'm really concerned that maybe ByuN is playing a little bit with fire here. Like, there's no anchor point to his army. It's just pure bio at the moment. And that's exactly what these Lings want.
Exactly. Nothing really stopped them from diving on top of everything, getting a full surround. A couple of Widowmines across the map, but yeah, Dark's actually doing a really good job of forcing them to...
The Ghost! Oh!
To get surrounded. A bunch of them get surrounded anyway. Couple of alright snipes on the Overseers as well as the a couple of Banelings. From the looks of things, the pathing will kill a couple of lurkers here for free.
Yeah, both players...
But that prompts Dark to just keep going further.
Exactly. Both players messed up a little bit when it came to the pathing, but there we go. Another surround on all of those ghosts. Parasitic Bomb on the medevacs as well, and the lurkers are still going uncontested. I was talking about the Liberators earlier. Where the hell are they? They're not here. They're not where they need to be. Thankfully, the ghosts are doing a decent job at sniping, but again, a lot of damage was done.
They're actually across the map trying to harass, it seems. The Liberators, I mean. Didn't really get much though. In the end, both players kind of expending their armies, and now just really quickly spending their entire bank.
Yeah, like that was a really hefty loss. Like I thought everything was fine until Dark lost like what was that, like 8 lurkers for free? Like that was not. Oh god, it takes a long time to rebuild that. Like here we go, 10 lurkers are on the way, but they're not ready. Like now is the opportunity. Now is the time for ByuN to move out and maybe try and take out a couple of these hatcheries.
He's gonna try. He's actually doing a really good job preventing mining in a lot of these bases. And again, we're getting to that stage of the game where gas is a lot more valuable than minerals right now for Dark.
Really is. Well, ByuN, he's edging his way closer to dying some of these banelings. Has to be careful not to overextend. Wouldn't mind shot. How good's it gonna be? Oh, decent shot on those lings.
Oh, and that was a really good EMP as well. Completely drained the energy on one of these Vipers. There's still one Viper full of energy left, but it's not in position at all. Very efficient trade here from ByuN.
Yeah, exactly. And Dark loses the majority of his buffer for his lurkers, so he knows that he cannot overstay his welcome here. Otherwise, his lurkers are just going to get sniped, so he will back off, retreat back to the safety of his creep, force lick his wounds. And again, ByuN, mate, he's been fighting incredibly well.
He really has.
Oh boy.
He's not losing too much in each of these engagements. I mean, for the most part, he's made around the ghosts, not made anymore, but he's done such a good job of keeping them alive that he doesn't really need to.
Oh yeah, it's one of these things where finally the Nidus is coming into play. Is it too late? It looks like ByuN has eyes on it. We do have a Marauder hit squad that are gonna show up, and yeah, they will be able to deal with this Nidus.
Yep. Look at how quickly Marauders are able to deal with farming units like that. I guess it's a building, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it looks like this will be dealt with. We have another Nidus here, but I mean, the army's right next to it. Like, this Nidus shouldn't finish, and even if it does, like, lurkers don't want to come out of there.
Yeah, not when there's already detection and whatnot. Dark wasting a lot of his resources, but we're at the point where they're both maxed out, so...
Yeah, I'm waiting for a transition like Dark. I'm waiting for Aspire to be thrown down so we can start working towards Corruptors, maybe even Broodlords after that, maybe some Infestors for Fungals. I don't think Infestors are necessarily what he needs right now, but again, just like throwing down some tech, getting ready for some kind of transition.
Well, you'd be surprised. A couple of good Fungals can really delete the Terran army if the follow-up is deadly enough from Zerg player.
Yeah. I think the problem with the Infestors in this position is that it is a bit of a dance, right? Like, who hits first, the Fungal or the EMP? Right.
Yeah. It's almost like watching TVP.
Yeah.
Getting ready for a nuke now, it seems?
Yeah, we do have a nuke that's about to finish up. Again, it's going to help when it comes to clearing out creep, maybe hitting one of these bases.
We'll see. Sark immediately recognizes.
Yeah, and he's trying to find some damage here. He actually goes for a planetary. I don't know if this is the best move. Banelings are all going to get taken out. No connections. Ay.
Such a good concave here from ByuN as the entire buffer for those Banelings. I don't know what the heck they were doing.
Yeah. And what does he get there? He got a planetary that wasn't even mining. Like, that was a lot of supply.
And ordinarily, you might think, well, he's clearing up Lings to make room for more Lurkers or some other unit, but he has remaxes on Lings anyway, so... Who the hell knows?
Yeah, I'm just really worried because, like, look at these banks. Like, these banks just indicate how efficient ByuN has been. Like, it's not like he's been mining more. No, not by any means. He's just been fighting better. He's just been losing less.
Yeah, all things considered, Dark has a higher income than ByuN. But he just keeps spending his money much quicker than ByuN.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, finally, Dark takes a fight. He snipes a couple of these medevacs, is able to snipe a couple of the ghosts as well, and denies this base.
I'll definitely start here for Dark. Like that, I think, is the only base left unclaimed. So whoever controls that, will be in a really good economic position as the game goes on.
Yeah, it's it's that much more important for Dark to take it, honestly, because he has been trading less efficiently. Getting an extra base up on his opponent would be insane if he's able to do so. Meanwhile, this is what I'm worried about. God, Lib range is on the way. He doesn't have a great way to deal with those Liberators, but thankfully Liberators are really in a good position.
Yeah, not a lot of dead air to utilize. Dark is starting to collapse on top of this. Not the best Baneling connections once again, but Dark is rapidly gaining around here for his Lurkers to follow.
A lot of ghosts just went down. The lurkers finding a lot more ground. They have to be careful because the lurkers honestly don't have much of a buffer. Like, what is there to protect these lurkers? Oh, God.
Hydras, I guess, but not too many Hydras either.
Yeah.
Dark, I think, might have been getting a little too eager when it comes to morphing in lurkers.
Oh, meanwhile, he wants to try and catch this army. He does end up burrowing here. He's caught between two ghost armies, and he wants to try and get one of them, but, oh god, again, a lot of these lurkers are falling.
That's a lot of lost gas.
Alright, but
Has he gotten the base? No, he hasn't yet, but he is getting a lot of SCV kills, which is something.
Yeah, and I love this. Like, Dark, he's rotating around, he's catching half the army once again. Like, there's no answer to all these Liberators, but the Liberators aren't really engaging with the Lurkers when they really should be.
That they should. Another base goes down basically for free here, and Dark is finding himself in a much more comfortable position now. I mean, the banks have turned. That's not a phrase, but Dark has a larger bank than ByuN now, is what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, we're in a weird position where I feel like ByuN's army is stronger, but he's just never where he needs to be. This Nidus pulls him all the way back home. Like, what I mean by that is that there are 12 libs right now, and there's only 4 Hydras. Like, there's no, like, ByuN can be so aggressive with these libs, but they're just on the other side of the map.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things where ByuN has the better army. He has been winning the fights very consistently throughout the game, but Dark decides not to fight if he can get away with it. So, yeah. You know.
And there we go. Finally, ByuN pulls the trick, but no, there goes! A bunch of these ghosts are going to get picked off here. Nice catch by Dark, and again, he's avoiding all those Liberators and fighting what little he can here, and he's, as a result, just trading better.
Just like so. He's about to get on top of all the production as well.
Yeah.
I really like this from Dark too. He's setting up what I like to call the Zerg recall. Throws on Nidus near his army in case he ever needs to get back home.
Oh god, exactly. Meanwhile, this is a little bit scary. Liberator's coming back. Oh my god, the snipes are insane. The lurker count gets reset.
Once again, proving that when the fight actually happens, ByuN has such an advantage, but this hasn't been fighting as much as he could.
Yeah, his lib control has honestly been a little bit lackluster. He just hasn't. He's been a lot more concerned with his ghosts, and to be fair, he's been doing really well with them. But I feel like if everything comes together, like ByuN can just kind of brute force his way through everything.
Well, he needs to trade. He needs to take a few more battles and trade a bit more efficiently a couple more times before that happens. I mean, Dark has already spent his entire gas bank, so
mate, you say that.
Up for ByuN.
I'm still waiting for the moment where ByuN realizes that he left all his libs over here. You know, like.
Oh, yeah, teach.
Ah, he does.
He turns back with them. Alrighty then. Well.
He split them up, you know. Now he's got two flocks of libs. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. Yeah. It's fine. For now.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh god. I'm waiting for the moment as we see just mass scan everywhere. ByuN is trying to find the army. Finally, he sees it. He knows. Oh.
Oh, and I don't think ByuN can fight. Oh, Dark rather can fight in this position. There's so many Liberators. The Hydras get deleted before they can get on top of things. ByuN being backed into a corner, but can always lift up if need be. Ah, the pathing. Not in Dark's favor at all.
Yeah, and just like that, Dark plummets in supply. ByuN is going to keep on going. Dark knows that he can't fight the main army, so he just counterattacks and goes for the main base. But I think that was the fight that ByuN really needed to seal the deal. Like, sure, there are Lings running all over the place, but there never has been and never will be an answer to all these Liberators. Oh, God.
He's finally broken Dark here. Look at how low his income is right now. Spent his entire bank again.
Yeah, I am shocked. I'm shocked that Dark never threw down a Spire, I'll be honest. Like, he saw the lib count getting higher and higher, and it just kept getting higher, and he just didn't even care. And I understand it, you know, you just avoid them, but at a certain point you can't avoid it.
You really cannot. GG is called, and ByuN fights back in this series. Dark will have to work for that final appearance.
He will. GG, well played. Congratulations, ByuN, for making a series out of it. Dark, just very stubborn with his composition there. Like, oh my god. I'm sure he just wanted to end the game a little bit sooner, and he kept trying to force the issue time and time again. But, yeah, I don't know, man. You see, Libs, you want something that shoots up, right? I don't know.
Not if you're Dark.
I guess not. Look, I'm just saying that if Dark had thrown down an Ultra Cavern as soon as he finished his hive, like he could have. Yep. I feel like he could have won the game before he got.
ByuN had no ghosts.
Yeah, it took Dark a long time to get into lurkers, a very long time. Like, it's,
I feel like Dark maybe isn't as well practiced with the style as some of his other builds. But anyway, we are going to be continuing our series now on Blackburn LE. We're in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the bottom right-hand corner. We have our red Zerg player coming down from the land of Korea. He definitely looks in form, but he makes a lot of questionable decisions. He is going to be representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. He is Dark.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Blackburn LE, we have the South Korean Terran player fighting back in this series, putting a point on the board, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN.
So who takes the gold?
That's a good question, as Dark is actually the player to mix things up here and actually go for a pool first.
Oh.
So it kind of makes it kind of makes sense because ByuN has a little bit of momentum and we're on Blackburn, a really small map. So it looks like Dark is a little bit paranoid that ByuN was going to proxy Rax him, so decides to open up safe, is working on those sixlings, and even though this is a safe opener, oh my god, never mind, we see what it was for.
I was questioning it. I thought, wait a minute. You don't need a safety pool in ZvT. But
True.
You do need it to go for a Roach Rush.
There you go, Roaches are on the way. Sixlings going to be rushing across the map to try and delay this CC, and they will, especially because ByuN skipped his Reaper.
and I have to say, throughout the series, ByuN has been going for Banshees pretty consistently, but it's still going to take a while before he has enough that can really contest with the Roaches.
Like, is this just game? Like, the Lings are about to rock up. Yeah, there's the cancel, which is huge, by the way. Force cancel on the CC. There's only a single Marine, and more importantly, because there is no Reaper, that means there's no Scout. That means ByuN has no idea about the Roaches.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's fine as long as ByuN realizes, wait a minute, this is an earlier pool. I need to take this a bit more seriously, but he is not getting a starport. Now he is. Hopefully he gets Tech Lab after this Hellion pops out and he searches the add-ons.
Yeah, but like, he's not getting ready. He's not getting a bunker. He doesn't know the scenario he's in. He makes one Hellion and now he's going to go across the map to scout, which is cool, but he misses the Roaches. The Roaches are already on the way. ByuN still doesn't see a single thing, and like, even though sure he knows it's a pull first, but he doesn't know if it's just a pull first, just to go into a macro game, or if there's even more to it. Uh-oh.
When he does get that bad shot. Now he sees the Roaches and the Ravager.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be too late at this point. He's trying to rush out a Cyclone as quickly as he can. But it's not going to be out in time, is it?
I mean, the repairs are not going to be fast enough. The Deeper... Oh, is it? Is the Deeper going to go down? It's going to go down! Up! Up! Up!
Couple of volleys is all he needs. Beautiful biles on top of the SCVs. Look, even if ByuN defends from here, He's using a lot of workers.
Oh my god, 7 SCVs just went down. And so will that depot. I mean, what's important is ByuN did buy enough time. This Cyclone will finish.
And it's going to be more than enough to chase back the Ravager and the Roach as well. Important to note, Dark is not reinforcing this at all. He droned up, and he's dealt the damage he wanted to deal early on.
Yep. God, Dark did so much with this. He got the ACV kills, he delayed the CC, which delays the orbital. He killed a lot of Marines and even some Cyclones, sorry, some Hellions. There is a Banshee follow-up. Oh no, it's gonna burn down!
That's unfortunate.
Really is. There's the weight on this Banshee's shoulders is huge. ByuN's like, alright, go win the game. You gotta be a war hero.
Dream. Let's go.
No pressure,
Remember
kid.
your training.
Yeah, the future of our civilization it rests on your shoulders. Good luck.
Simulations. Something.
Alright, well. Banshee's on the way towards that main base. What's important? Ooh, Dark? Did not respect this. He does not have a spore. Oh my god.
Okay.
Yeah? Work is about to finish up. Spore only just now starts.
Right. This is one hell of a way for ByuN to get himself back into this game. Cloak's not done yet, though, and there are still a lot of queens. Really bruising the Banshee! Cloak, puppy! He does! But it's already down to red.
Mate, it is down to the red, but you know what? This Banshee is going to be a war hero because 6 drones have gone down. Maybe 7, but oh! It's going to get picked off!
Like most war heroes, though, doesn't make it back home.
It's very true. 6 drones for a Banshee, not bad at all. At the same time, there was this drop as well. Takes out an Overlord. Damage is being done. ByuN is finding his way back.
Slowly, but very, very surely.
He is. Meanwhile, massive shout out to Pablito. Gracias, Pablito, for the raid. Thank you so much. I hope.
Pablito.
Sí, bienvenidos. I hope you enjoyed your stream, and I hope you enjoy ESL Open Cup Asia as we are here. Unfortunately, there is no Spanish stream. Enki and Adrich are not here. Exclamation mark Funada Enki. El Hermoso, as ByuN is pushing in with his with his army, but there's just too much Zerg bait. Oh my god.
Yeah, full concave on these queens and Ling's flank as well. Cyclone goes down, Medevac got sniped, and it's gonna be the end of this offensive.
It really is. ByuN, he did a really good job at getting to this point, and again, he is closing the gap in the worker counts, but he still needs, like, where's the third base? There is no third. He actually opts to throw down 2 more Raxes instead.
Well, it's one way of getting damage, I suppose.
Yeah, he
really just wants a 2-base all in it from here.
Yeah, he's just doubling down. It's like, look, I'm not going to be able to out-macro you because of the early game, because of the opener. We got to go. And he can hit a strong timing with +1. You know, Stim is about to finish up. +1 is still a ways away, but once it kicks in, maybe ByuN can make something happen.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, mate. Meanwhile, Dark hasn't seen that production. He hasn't gone in with his Overlord yet. So because of that, he's still just happily droning, taking another base. Like, you know, he's none the wiser for the threat across the map. And we'll see if that hurts him in the end. Something that I'm a little bit surprised about, he has not started bailing speed.
Dark? Papi?
Yeah, like, he's had the lair for a while, and he's working on +2 carapace, which is a great upgrade, don't get me wrong. But Baneling's going to be your bread and butter against this bio army.
His only source of AoE right now. I mean, Lings aren't really going to cut it, especially since a handful of these a handful of these Hellbats did survive earlier on. Now that he's got a couple of Banelings out, he's got to realize, wait a minute, they're a little slow.
He realized Baneling speed is on the way, but it only just now starts. He needed it now.
I still like the concave that Dark has set up. A couple of Banelings surprisingly do connect to the ByuN. The tanks are still up and running, but they do get sniped in the end. ByuN is still very, very scary, but ByuN has lost his anchor.
ByuN started his Hydrogen before Baneling speed, and that may just be game. The Marines are steaming on forward. There is nothing left to defend. Lings are being rallied out right now, but Lings will do nothing against these Marines. We need Banelings. We need speed, and it just wasn't here. Dark just forgot.
Dark really needs a miracle right now if he's going to be able to defend from here. Wow. He is morphing in a lot of Banelings, and honestly, not too many tanks out right now, but oh man, they just keep getting sniped left and right because they don't have speed.
Exactly, one Baneling.
All right connection, but it's not going to be enough.
Dot, dot, dot. Oh my god.
Dark even realizes his mistake here, and now we'll get to match point. Or no, to the ace match. Technically it's match point, but match point for both players.
Dark, solid Monk S, mate. That was
shaking my head, Dark.
Yeah. There's a reason why Dark put 3 dots into the chat. He knew that he messed up. He knew that he threw. Oh no.
And now he's eager to redeem himself. Go, 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 yo.
Who needs Baneling speed? Dark needs Baneling speed.
Yeah. I'm hoping that was the incident that humbles Dark here, because throughout this entire series, arguably throughout this entire tournament, I mean, I know that we haven't really been able to cast much. He seemed very, very cocky in his play. If this isn't a wake-up call, then he's going to be in a ton of trouble as we continue and conclude our best of 5 semifinals here on 2000 Atmosphere LE, mate. I was really worried we weren't going to get an ace match. Like, I was really worried that we were going to finish up the semifinals and then have to wait for the other semifinals to finish up. That's how quickly the first 2 games went, but now we're here. Now we've had some macro games, some late games come in, and now we're in our ace match. In the top right-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the top right-hand corner, our red Zerg player coming out from the land of Korea. He's going to be representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. He is Dark.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres LE, we have the South Korean Terran player. He is blue, representing Shopify Rebellion, bringing it back. He was down 2-0. Now we're in the ace match. It is ByuN.
Shaking.
Look,
I
love ByuN. He's a great guy. He's a great player. But the last 2 games, ByuN didn't necessarily win. It was Dark losing, mate. It was
pretty much.
It was Dark having these advantages and having these leads and slipping up here and there. You know, whether it's overconfidence or there's a couple of different things that we can say about it. But regardless, like he needs to tighten things up. You know.
Absolutely. I mean, just look at game number 1 and 3 in particular. We should right now be in a scenario of in one of 2 scenarios, right? Either a scenario where ByuN makes it to the finals and then we're waiting to jump into the second semifinals, or Dark is already waiting in the finals and we're waiting to jump into the second finals. He made the game so far a lot closer than it should have been. I think it's the right way to put it. We should have had a winner by now.
I think what's important to note as well is it goes to show it doesn't matter how much of a lead you have, ByuN is going to fight his heart out, and you cannot slip up. You cannot make mistakes, because if you do, ByuN is going to capitalize on those mistakes and make you regret it and turn water into wine, you know? Like
Well, if there was ever a player where momentum-based, or if there was ever a player who you could describe as momentum-based, ByuN is definitely that player. He will see you slip up once, capitalize on that mistake, and then just keep on going. Does not stop with him.
It really doesn't. It really does not. And we'll see if that's going to keep on going, because ByuN, once again, did end up skipping his Reaper. Instead, opened up with this Marine opener, which he did against Demi. And with this opener, typically he's been able to catch Overlords, but at the moment, he hasn't caught a single one. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon.
Yeah. I'm so glad Dark, or ByuN rather, is trying to turn Dark into the next Radata, in a sense. He did it with Radata, he did it with Demi.
Hey, he's trying. We'll see if he can succeed, because we do have a 1-1-1 opener. It is going to be for Banshees. Are we going to see an armory behind this? That's typically what we've been seeing. It looks like ByuN is going back to what he knows best. But so is Dark, because Dark is going Roaches.
That's what scares me the most right now for ByuN. He will have Banshees out, so at least he won't be completely defenseless, but these Hellions should not get damage out as long as the Roaches are in position.
Yeah, exactly. Queens are here, Lings are here, Roaches pop out, Hellions do get swatted away. But as you said, like, the Banshee opener can do well against these Roaches. You know, they can slip in, not just dealing economic damage, but they can also help deal with Roaches once they counterattack.
ByuN finally aware the Roaches coming his way, so see if he sends his Banshee back home.
We shall see. Meanwhile, the Hellions try to rotate around towards that third base. Roaches are trying to keep up, but the Hellions are a little bit too quick, and the Hellions actually make their way into the natural. Up.
Or try to, those legs to pop out just in the nick of time. And we'll chase the Hellions away. Really nice solid wall, but no tanks or bunkers, unfortunately, to help fight back. Banshee does pop out at the end, though.
Yeah, the Banshee will clean this up, but the Roaches actually slip on in. They delay the third CC. They actually kill a decent amount of these Marines as well. Damage is being done. Meanwhile, the Banshee also getting a lot of drones. Where are the Queens? The Queens were a little bit distracted. Now the Hellions are going into the natural.
Oh man, he almost pulls a Ratata, but still, Dark is losing a ton of drones here. ByuN lost a supply depot. He had his third base delayed, but there is nothing compared to the 17 drones that Dark just lost.
Jesus Christ. Now, if this series has told us anything, now it's time for ByuN to throw.
Well, I'm not sure how much of a throw it'll really be. I mean, Dark still has a massive army. If you wanted to, you could send everything across the map and try to get a counterattack going, but he's playing a bit passive right now.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Like, he's joining up, he's taking gases. Like, he has sustained so many losses. You can go one of two routes here. Either be greedy, defend, turtle up, or be hyper aggressive and go across the map. And it looks like he's gonna go for the turtle route.
Yeah, I was a little surprised I saw the infestation pit, but yeah it makes sense now.
Yeah, as in, like, he's droning up, he's taking up, infestation pit for Hive. What's the Hive for? I actually don't know.
Hivers, always.
Yeah, part of me feels like maybe he wants to go Lurkers again. We'll see.
This has worked so well for him earlier. Well, who knows? We did mention that Dark has to tighten up a little bit, especially after that little bit of a wake-up call game on Blackburn. So, as long as he realizes, or as long as he remembers his timings, I suppose, and gets into Lurkers a lot quicker, as long as he doesn't neglect his anti-air either, he should be fine. But instead, he goes for Infestors first.
Yeah, I appreciate this. Infestors are great, like, substitutes. Infestor, Roach are enough to just stem the tide, hold on, defend long enough for you to get into those Lurkers. Because you're not relying on Banelings, you're not relying on any splash damage. Your splash damage is going to be Fungals in this scenario.
Yeah, you really don't have a lot of offensive capabilities here with this composition, but you don't need any. At least not for the time being. This is what's the term? The stalemate kind of composition.
Yeah, before the stalemate comes in comes the mate. ByuN goes for a double drop into the main base, gets 4 drones, not bad. Completely catches Dark just out of position.
Before the stale comes the mate.
There you go.
Into the main base. Well.
Oh, God. And we'll see, I mean, you know, when it comes to tech, like, I mean, Hive is on the way, Hydroden is done, there is the Lurker Den being thrown down. So Dark is taking up, he's working towards it, he just needs time. He needs to survive this next push.
It's a much better timing now than when he previously tried to go for this composition, but as you were saying, the push is still very scary. ByuN ahead on the upgrades for now, and still has a pretty frightening tank count.
Oh, God, he really does. The army is pushing on forward. The drop is really distracting Dark. Dark has successfully split up his army, but now he's starting to lose drones.
Just like so. He's going to have to give up the space. Can't really afford to try to stalemate this army. As he doesn't have all of his roaches in position yet.
Yeah, he is hurting so much right now. The Infestors took a massive tank volley to the face. That's why they've lost so much HP. Dark, he's going to have to try and double expand once he defends, if he defends.
That's a pretty big if. So he tries multi-pronging it up again and should be able to find some success once more.
Yeah, exactly. There are roaches here in position, but again, these Marines are going to trade so efficiently, take out the Spore, but ByuN's main army backs off. I say back off, actually just rotating around.
Yeah, regrouping. Getting the reinforcements up and running. 5 tanks!
Ugh.
Oh, that's terrifying when you're on Roach Infestor right now.
Yeah, like, we have Lurker upgrades on the way, but we don't have any Hydras, we don't have any Lurkers, we only have 2 Infestors, 2 Fungals. Like, it's, mate, I don't know, mate. The Fungal misses!
The Fungal misses. A lot of Corrosive Biles were thrown down to take out just a single tank. Massive chunk of the Roach army gets taken out. And half of Dark's army is kept back by a single medevac full of Marines.
Yep. There we go, the medevacs are here, a lot of roaches just stuck in the main base. This Banshee is delaying this hatchery, but so much. Dark needs a 4th hatchery desperately, but he just can't get it out. The Infestor can take it out!
And the Biles miss as well. There's only a single Infestor left. Got a lot of energy on it. That's a really nice Fungal, but there's nothing to really follow that up with.
Beautiful chain Fungal there by Dark, but that's all he had left in the tank. Meanwhile, reinforcements are on the way, but finally, Lurkers are coming out.
Can they borrow in time though? Can they borrow in time though? Can they borrow in time though? Dark! He loses all of his Lurkers for free. And tanks are being so stalwart right now.
Yeah. I mean, they're not falling, mate. The drop in the natural base is getting out of control. GG gets called. And ByuN with the reverse sweep. He does it. He moves on to the grand finals.
Beautifully done, mate. You could say that Dark threw that series, and there were a couple of occasions where you may be right on that, but overall, ByuN tightened up his play much more as the series went on. Dark just kept on slipping.
Yeah, I
Slipped
mean,
one too many times.
I mean, the Hardwire game was, it was acceptable. You know, I'm like, okay, you know, Dark Tunnel Visions, and he nah, it's not even acceptable, mate. When you see Mass Lib and you have 0 anti-air for 10 minutes. For 10 minutes, Yaku. Yeah. The Liberators, they didn't just pop out of nowhere. It wasn't like a muta switch. It didn't just happen and then it was over. No, they were there. Everyone could see it. And then the Blackburn game where he just didn't have he dealt so much damage with his roaches and with his lings. He was so far ahead. He was up 70 drones to like the 45 workers of Dark, and he had a 5th base on the way, which was the 4th base on the way, which was the goal base, but he just didn't have bailing speed.
This is upset dad light. This is the tone and the voice of upset dad light.
Yeah.
He had the same style of speaking when talking about Stardust.
Dark has no one to be upset with except himself, okay? Like
Yeah. And I'm sure he really is. I mean,
shaking my head.
Yeah.
Shaking my head.
yeah. It's one of those things where I want to praise ByuN. I want to praise ByuN a lot for, not faltering too much, for continuing to play his heart out even when he was from behind, but at the same time, I want to levy as much I wouldn't really call it criticism, but I really do think that Dark should have won that series a little bit quicker. Kudos to ByuN once again for
yeah. I mean,
really making a series out of that and winning from so far behind.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to ByuN, like especially the Ace match, he was in complete control. Like he
absolutely,
he was dropping all over the place. We had Marines, we had Hellions, we had Banshees, just pulling Dark apart, dealing all that damage. There was that moment where 17 drones were killed. Like ByuN really popped off in the Ace match, and he well deserved to win that one. But there's a world where the series doesn't go that long,
Exactly. I think I found a way to articulate it now. I'm as impressed with ByuN as I'm upset with Dark.
There you go, mate. There you go. Oh, God. GG. Well played. Congratulations,
well played.
ByuN. Yeah, ByuN does move on to the grand finals, and he is there to face off against one of two players. We will not be seeing a TVT today, thankfully.
Yeah.
No TVTs to be found, but it is going to be either a Zerg or a Protoss opponent.